Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to get you started on your magazine layout. We're going to just put together the grid, and we're going to put together some pictures and a lot of stuff that you already know from doing the magazine cover, but we're going to apply it to the inside spread. So let's get started with your new document. Right now, if I go create new, and I'm going to do, I did hit it, there we go. You'll see that we do have your print, so these are, we want, your letter size, which is 8.5 by 11, legal and tabloid. You got it for your mobile devices, and you've got it for making it for like a website. However, you can see how it's showing up in different, say like it's showing up as pixels or points sometimes. So what we're going to do, and this bugs me, and I'm going to fix that for good right now. So rather than creating a new document, when everything is closed and you don't have a new document open, I'm going to go into File, InDesign, and Preferences, and go to Units. Where's Units? Units and Increments. And I'm going to change it to inches right now. Horizontal and vertical. Okay. So then now when I make a new document, let's go create new. This shows up as inches now, so everything's on, and it will remain that. That is the new default there. So when you do stuff, when stuff is closed, it becomes the new default. So let's go to print and letter. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's add some columns to our page. We're going to have three columns. The gutter width, that is the space in between the columns. I'm going to bump that up just to 1/4 of an inch just to be different. My document, I want it to be 3 pages long because it's going to be the cover and then the 2 inside spreads, or sorry, 2 inside pages that make up 1 spread. And then that should be good if I hit create. And so you can see the cover is here. If I go to my pages, and then if I go to here, then I see that I've got my 2 inside spreads. In case you're seeing things different up here, make sure that you go to Essentials Classic. That's my favorite. Or, you can have your own, but this is how I'm going to teach it with this. Okay, so I'm not going to do a cover example with you because we've basically covered all that in the InDesign cover duplication units, and you can refer back to those tutorials. But what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the inside here. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to just put in some lorem ipsum just like before, and we're going to add in our main picture and maybe work on our title. And I may split it up into multiple lessons, but let's give this a shot. First thing I'm going to do, we're going to go get our lorem ipsum. So let's go get, I wonder what I have on my Google. I don't have anything, so let's go to new. And we're going to go lorem ipsum generator, and we're just going to, let's just click on the first one, see what that looks like. And then let's, how many, 5 paragraphs, that's good. Generate lorem ipsum, and it gives me stuff just to copy. Okay. I'm just going to copy that, copy. And now we're going to go back to InDesign, and I'm going to create, I know that my cover, according to my sketches, I know that my my main picture is going to be here. My first text box is going to be here, and then here, and there, and there, okay, as per my sketches. So let's make, I haven't made a text box yet, so let's just make one by, I didn't make that very big, but that's okay. I'm just going to paste the lorem ipsum in right now. And then let's just fix that, like say about there. Okay, make a new text box. And and actually I'm going to show you a couple different things. I'm going to make a new text box, and then click on this guy. You got to have the arrow tool, and then click there. And now click on this text box, and it flows. And you can see it flows just like in an earlier tutorial. Okay. But now, if I were to if I were to click on this now, and you get this, and I don't have another text box to send it to, then I can just click and I can just automatically drag, and then it'll automatically populate that with the text. Now I don't have enough text here, but I can still click on this guy here and it will still make another text box and link them. So if I were to go make that one smaller, that is flowing into there. So, and I know that that I'm going to be throwing some pictures in here. I don't necessarily need to add some more because I know that, well, maybe I'll just add in another paragraph just to fill up some space. But I know that I'm actually going to make these smaller later on. All right. So let's actually, I'm going to get rid of these and these spaces in between the paragraphs. All right. So let's add our first picture. Going to go to File and Place, Control D or Command D, depending if you're on a Mac or what. And I've got, let's see, I've got my magazine. Oh, I'm in the wrong folder. I'm in my grade 12s. Let's go to grade 11 and go to magazine, and we're going to go to Mr. T, and then I've got, okay, so I've got a couple here. I've got, here's my original picture with a student taking a picture here, and then I've got this background here. I've got him, this is just a Photoshop file with him cropped, but then I've got the, but then this is him just cropped out with a transparent background. I'm going to use that. Okay, so I can just drop that in just by clicking. And you can see here that he's probably about the right size because I've scaled it in Photoshop. But don't forget that the selection tool here controls the bounding box. The box that contains is the package that contains the image. The white arrow tool contains the picture within that box. Okay, so think of the box as like a mask. For right now, I'm going to just line up that box with the grid because I'm following my grid. Okay, I'm not. We'll make that, and then I'm going to actually drag that down. Okay. Now, just so you know, you can control this picture within a couple of different ways. I can either grab the outside corners here, and I can just bring those in. And you can see I can, if I hold down the Shift key, it keeps them proportional, which is important. However, you notice that up here at the bottom here, or sorry, up at the top here, I've got 100%. If I were to shrink that, say like 50%, and these are linked right now, so that will, so you can do controls up here, okay? As well, you see how the coordinates minus 0.32, minus 2.6, those are the coordinates within this box. So if I did like 0 and 0, 0, 0, it moves that within that box. So you can work with numbers as well as working with the actual, with dragging stuff around. Why would you do things like that? When you want things to line up perfectly, when you are OCD like me, you want things to be perfect, and so a lot of times you will use numbers. But yeah, when you want to line things up, mainly because you want to line things up perfectly. Or say if you want to have like bleed over an edge here, and you want to make sure that it's got at least a certain amount of edge, you can just use the numbers to make sure that it bleeds over the edge by a certain amount. Things like that. There's lots of reasons to use numbers. So that's going to be adding a picture. That'll be our lesson for today, and I'm going to pick it up adding some more titles in just a bit.